Hi, welcome to That's Thing Accent Core. It is episode 0.71, and it is Monday, May the 4th. It's Star Wars Day. And that's a movie.
That is a movie.
It's a series of films, actually.
Eh.
But today, we're going to be talking about our top 10 list, because nothing is happening in quarantine.
No.
So we need something to talk about.
Yeah. We'll talk about online Evo next week.
Wish it was just EVE Online, but oh well.
I do wish we had time to talk about eating your neighbor's ass, but we'll skip that too.
Nah, that's next week.
Next week, big week.
Okay. So anyway, all right. Just to transition into it, we're gonna be talking because no holds barred top 10 movies. Is Star Wars on anyone's list at any position?
No.
No, not for me.
I thought about Empire Strikes Back. Go ahead, Nolan.
No, I like Star Wars, but it's not like the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, it ain't on my list.
I thought about Empire Strikes Back for a bit, but, I mean, it didn't make it, so...
There are other things there.
Yep.
Okay, so how we're going to do this is we're going to just everyone's going to list their bottom 5, so 10 to 6, because we want to talk more about the top 5. So, who wants to go first?
I thought you said I was.
Yeah, okay, Drew, you go first.
Okay. No, I do have a question. Do you want me to just do my 10 to 6? Else do their 10 to 6 and so on, and then do our top 5s, or am I doing my whole list right now?
I think you're doing your 10 to 6, and then you're going to kind of give the flavor like a minute or two, or maybe 2 to 3 minutes, just kind of overview of each one, maybe like a sentence or two after each one, because we're not going to talk along. It's kind of like 5 minutes or so. Five for your bottom 5.
I'm doing... Okay. All right. So my number 10 then is a European movie called Seventh Seal. It is an old black and white movie, and the first time the Grim Reaper playing chess appeared in a film.
Oh, I like it.
So it is a knight has just returned from the Crusades.
Seven Seal is fucking ballin'.
Yo, that movie kicks ass.
Oh, also remember, don't give us plot synopsis and stuff on the bottom. We got to keep moving.
You said to talk. Okay, whatever. You said to talk about them a blurb.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, you give the blurb. I'm sorry. I don't know.
So whatever. A knight has returned from Crusades, and the Black Death is rampant through Europe. Number 9, the Iron Giant. Okay. Everyone knows what the Iron Giant is.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was on my cutting floor.
The one thing I'll say about this movie is every time it gets to that scene where he says, "I go, you stay," my brain all substitutes, "I stay, you go." and I just picture him chucking Hogarth at the missile.
That's a very different movie, and that would have made it on my list.
Number 8 is the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, I can't fault that.
Yeah.
I like musicals, and I think it's the only musical on my list, but I needed one.
It may be the best musical.
I think it... I would not argue.
Yeah, I would, but...
Well, Kevin, you don't even like musicals. Number 7, the most recent movie on my top 10 is Black Swan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see that. That's good.
Yeah, no, I like it. And number 6 is classic for everyone, Ninja Scroll.
Yeah, that was I was on my cutting room, sadly, but you know.
Also,
all right,
I was gonna say, also just talking like in general about these lists, I think all 4 of us have approached them differently. So take that as you will, listeners at home.
Yeah, discover the themes. I think that's the game, is the listeners can discover the themes and taste.
Yeah.
All right, it's me or Nolan or Cody. I think Cody wanted to go last.
You go ahead and go.
What? Cody said something.
I can do my bottom.
I can go if you want.
All right.
It's up to you.
Nolan, Cody, me. Let's do that.
Okay.
So Nolan, you're up.
Yeah. Bottom of my list right now is going to have to be Speed Racer.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Not a good movie, but a movie I really like.
No, that's fine.
That's why it's at the very bottom. The one right above it is going to be Samurai Cop, the movie I got the most enjoyment out of.
Okay. I see. We can see Nolan's theme.
Once again, the reason they're at the bottom is because they're not good.
No. This is your personal list. That's fine. There's no. It's subjectivity. So.
Right above that is the only horror movie I have, which is Hereditary.
Oh. Okay. I hear things.
It's good, but still a horror movie, so it's down at the bottom.
That's the same guy who did the Vivitch and Midsommar.
No, it's the same guy that did Midsummer. The guy that did The Witch did The Lighthouse, which is also a very good movie.
Okay, I don't like either of those movies, so I was wondering if Hereditary was better.
I haven't seen it, but I hear good things.
Right above Hereditary is going to be Airplane.
Okay.
This is a list, Nolan.
I like this list. It's diverse. I really like it. This is what you wanted, Drew. No holds barred.
I know.
And then Holding the...
I couldn't hear it. Hello?
I heard Holding the Straw.
Here we go. Sorry, Shin Godzilla.
Okay.
Gonna be the next one.
Okay.
Probably, I'm gonna have to say that's the best Godzilla movie I've seen.
Yeah.
And I love some Toho Godzilla.
All right, that's a good list. I like your list, Nolan. It's flavorful. All right, Cody, you got to follow up Nolan's bottom 5 with yours. Hit it up.
All right. My bottom 5. Coming in number 10 is Ghostbusters, the original.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's good.
That's safe.
It's a good
Everyone
movie.
knows Ghostbusters, it's a classic.
Uh-huh.
Number 9, and I'll preface this by saying I do not necessarily agree with J.K. Rowling's opinions of things.
That's fine.
Number 9 is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Okay. That's the most questionable
That's more
one.
questionable than some of the ones Nolan has said.
I like that it took the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and kind of showed what's happening not at the school.
Okay. It's
So,
reasonable.
It's your list.
It is your list.
Another questionable one, I'm sure. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
No, that's not questionable. That first Pirates of the Caribbean is pretty good. Shockingly good.
When I need some
Solid film.
fun, that's my go-to.
I don't, that one's not questionable. Especially for
It's
being
one of
around
the last
7.
good. It's one of the last good live-action Disney movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 7, Shoot 'Em Up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not,
Oh, yes.
not gonna, that movie's really good.
Sounds like you've made constant problems for Nolan's list.
No, I like Shoot 'Em Up, but...
Let's see. And number 6 is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, fuck, I didn't put that movie on my list.
Yeah.
See, that's on my cutting room floor for me. Like,
yeah.
I
don't
don't
It's
even
also
know
on my
that.
cutting room floor.
Yeah, like I don't even know that it would have made honorable mentions for me. Like I like it, but I don't. It's not top 10 to me.
It would have made honorable mentions for me.
I made it into my my bottom 5. So.
It's good. That movie's really good though. Like I ain't gonna lie.
No, I won't.
I think, yeah, I think I like it more for its technical merits.
It's kind of like Akira, where Akira didn't make my list, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is it my turn now?
Yep.
All right. Sitting in on number 10 is the newest film on my list, Dread. Dread is a fantastic movie. I loved it. I love the message of it. It's grim, depressing, and as Drew himself has said, fascism is not cool, but Judge Dredd is cool.
Oh, I thought you said Red, the movie about old assassins.
No! No!
Dread is a good movie.
No, it's Dread.
You're right.
No, I would put no. That movie's fine. Red is like acceptable. It's like a 6.
I was giggling.
6 out of 10. Okay. But no. Oh no, it's Dread. Okay. Number 9 is the Will Smith classic Men in Black. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I think that's Will Smith's best movie. It's great. I love everything about it. Sequels are terrible.
I would fight you on that as Will Smith.
International, I think, was the worst.
Men in Black 2 is the worst. International is watchable. That's Men in Black 2 is unwatchable.
But Men in Black, the series.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, okay. All right, number 8. One of the more classy movies on my list, The Great Escape. The Great Escape is a thrill ride. And I'm echoing, but that's okay.
No, you're good.
Okay. But, I like The Great Escape. That movie's...
Dude, Steve McQueen.
Yeah, that's...
The ball.
That's...
No one can escape.
Yeah.
Sir, he swam away.
No, that's Papillon. That's different.
Oh, my bad.
That's different. Number 7 is Predator.
Yeah,
Predator.
That's in my honorable mentions.
that's in my honorable mentions too.
I love it because Predator is both one of the best Arnold movies and a critique of Arnold movies because it starts as an Arnold movie like Commando and then it just turns into, the Predator is here. I love that. I love that.
I don't think that's a critique. I think that's a twist.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's the word I'm looking for. Is the twist. I like it. Number...
One of Hollywood's coolest aliens.
All right, and number 6 is a movie that hit me harder than almost any movie. It is not Sucker Punch, but it did sucker punch me right in the gut, and that is the Spongebob Movie. That's my number 6.
Sucker Punch sucked.
Sucker Punch was terrible, but SpongeBob Movie hit me way harder as a grown kind of 20.
Do you mean the original, the first movie?
Yes, the first movie.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I watched that yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is a good movie.
When you're kind of in your late 20s, that movie has such a different meaning of how at the beginning where SpongeBob's being passed up for his promotion and everyone thinks he's a kid and he's like, I can't do nothing. And I'm like, oh Lord. And then they go on there. Oh, it's great. Okay. And that's my bottom 5. Okay, Drew. What's your 5?
Oh, I'm still trying to watch this taste out of my mouth of SpongeBob the movie making this list over some other
so
stuff.
good.
Hey, no judgments.
SpongeBob.
I never said no judgments this
Oh,
week.
you can't.
That's for OCs.
You can't. SpongeBob. The first SpongeBob movie is heart. There's heart in there, and it is really good. It's also funny. I think.
Yeah, again, whatever. It's your list, Kevin.
It
it's
is.
your list.
Oh, you get to see it. So hit us with number 5, Drew.
Okay, so my number 5.
Yeah.
Am I doing my 5 to 1 now?
I think we're gonna go around.
Do 5?
We're gonna go around.
Okay. We're round tabling. Okay.
Yeah. And
my number 5 then is the 5th. I think it's the 5th in the Lone Wolf and Cub series. It is Baby Cart in the Land of Demons.
Oh, that's a good one.
I have not seen.
Yeah, it is. So what's so good about it is, Okami Aito's method of accepting a job is someone has to, like, you pay him and he has to hear the story about why you want them to die.
Oh.
For him to even get that story in this one, like, the first monk who shows up is like, charges him, he dies, and while he's dying, he starts telling him the story, and like, there's 4 other monks who are going to test your skills, and if you pass, we'll keep telling the story about who we want dead. And so the premise is, like, after he's fought and killed all 5 monks, they want him to kill a high-ranking noble that has basically the reveal that the current prince of the kingdom is actually a princess, and if that gets out, their lands will be seized by the shogun.
Of course, because this is Japanese feudal times. They ain't cool with that.
But so the movie hits a point where it finally gets to the noble, and this is still the movie, and he goes to kill him, and the noble is just like, "What's the matter? You can't do it?" And like, he can't even draw a sword. The noble starts speaking some Eastern philosophy nonsense of like, "Nah, it's like I've achieved a state of nothingness. You're an assassin. How can you possibly kill nothingness?"
Does he just kill him?
No, he doesn't. It takes the rest of the movie of figuring out what to do and like dealing with some other nonsense before he can get back to trying to kill him.
Okay, that's great.
It's the training arc level up montage of Lone Wolf and Cub movies.
That sounds like a respectable 5 on the list. So,
It's also way shorter than Seven Samurai, but I needed some kind of samurai picture on this
okay,
list.
I don't want to get into that's honorable mentions, but we're
Like, real talk, I have a list of like 7 Samurai, Yojimbo, and all the Lone Wolf and Cub movies just sitting, waiting for me to watch them.
Okay, minor tangent. So Kurosawa films are in my my honorable mentions because they're too long. They're good,
God, they're so long.
but they're just too long. Like, I have a section, I'm just saying, of one of my honorable, it's just too long. But anyway. Nolan.
Rarely will I say a Western remake is a fine substitute, but The Magnificent Seven, the original one, is an acceptable substitute for Seven Samurai just because of how much it trims down.
Yep. It's also really good. All right, Nolan, what's your number 5?
Okay, my number 5 is going to be Starship Troopers.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Tell us more.
Okay, Starship Troopers is essentially a space future that is full-on militant. Like, if you want to be or do anything in government, you got to be military, and that's it. And as a big old space military, they only have one real enemy. Bugs. The arachnoids. From Sector P?
I don't remember.
Yes.
They were crunching those bugs in that ad. They were stepping on those cockroaches.
Well, you're going to see a theme on the list because I have like another one from this director. I just like the little snippets they have of how this world's built.
Yeah,
It's so thorough and so just fascinating.
You get to see the hyper-fascist military state, and the movie doesn't say it, but my personal theory, is they blame that the bugs attacked and blew up Texas or something.
Like Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, it's Rio.
So also this is like a Star Trek future where sure they're super fascist, but like everyone's cool. Like everyone gets along. It's fine.
This would be a bad guy planet on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Where you'd have the Utopia Fascism Society.
It's like if the Romulans had other races.
Yeah,
besides
that's
just
about
Romulans.
it. Yeah,
But
Starship Troopers.
I always think of the episode of Futurama with the balls whenever I think of Starship.
yeah,
It's very similar.
Get the hell off my planet.
Yeah, I just like it how at the end of Starship Troopers. Spoilers also. Spoilers ahoy.
Yeah.
Spoilers for like a 20-year or 30-year-old movie.
Where when he touches the bug and he goes,
When
it's
Neil Patrick Harris touches the bug.
and he goes, it's afraid, and then they all cheer with the triumphant music. And I remember feeling that was one of the first times I'm like, oh, that's bad. That isn't good. those bugs are just they're not having a good time. I felt bad for the bugs.
Yeah, you do it at a point. Well, so there's more movies in the franchise, and they all suck.
Oh, they're terrible.
Until you get to the Japanese CGI versions of them.
Those are terrible in a good
better.
way.
Because boy, does Japan love Starship Troopers.
Yeah, they do. Wasn't it a Japanese book, if memory serves?
It is a book series.
Yeah. All right. Are you done with Starship Trooper talk?
Yeah, Starship. See it. That's about it.
Yeah. All right, Cody. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is the original Halloween 2.
Okay, tell us more, because I haven't seen Halloween 2. Original Halloween 2.
Yeah,
Are there only
2.
how many Halloween 2s are there? Just 2?
Yeah.
Just 2 so far.
Soon to be 3.
And 3 Halloweens.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an angry video game nerd skit where he talks about the Halloween naming convention, and it's just garbage.
Halloween, that is like the most jacked up timeline at this point. Timelines. But Halloween 2, spoilers for a decades old movie, it picks up immediately where Halloween 1 left off.
The shape is outside the house, or...
Yeah, he has just hit the ground and disappeared when Loomis goes to look. Laurie Strode has been sent to the hospital, dealing with a knife wound and the just shock of what happened over the night. And Michael hears that she has been moved there and begins making his way to the hospital. And butchery ensues. This is the movie that went from the low-key violent kills of the first one and turned it into the actual classic bloody slasher kind of kills, which I could take or leave that fact. And it's also the movie that started the lore that Michael and siblings that the newest one has dropped. But I think it did really well. It did what sequels needed to do. It took an interesting turn of just literally picking up immediately where the last one left off. I think the mostly abandoned hospital setting was a creepy setting for the story. And let me tell you, I worked an overnight job at the hospital. Went from 6 in the afternoon till 3 in the morning. And having that movie in my brain made leaving the hospital at night not so much fun.
Why do you like 2 over the first original?
I did not say I do.
Oh.
Oh!
Okay. I like those responses.
A tease.
So the new Halloween is a continuation of 2, but they're also forgetting about H2O, which just happens whenever.
The new one is a continuation of the first one. It ignores all the other Halloweens. Like, the new Halloween is the new Halloween 2.
Yeah, so now you got your timeline of where Laurie drew the Master Sword, where she didn't draw the Master Sword, and where she died fighting Ganondorf.
And then there's that timeline that's just Metroid.
I like it. I like we got a tease.
Yeah, I do too.
So
Okay.
that's my 5.
All right. My number 5. In my opinion, this is, and I guess according to my list, the best Western that's ever been made, and that is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Because, good Lord, that movie's incredible. It is. You got Paul Newman and Robert Redford just chewing the scenery and being charming and cowboys for like 2 hours, and it's great the entire time. There's just lines and shenanigans and bad ideas that have hilarious consequences. It's great. Love that movie. And there's a bit where because it's kind of set in the time of the Wild West where the outlaw was going out of style, and Butch Cassidy's like, you know what, we can go to Argentina. There's still frontier out there. We can go there and we can make our game. We can keep living the life. So then they have this big old travel montage down to Argentina, and then when they get there, they're just standing in like a really crappy train station with like chickens and animals everywhere. And Sundance Kid is just like, this sucks! We wasted our lives! It's just this moment of realization where you had like, no, your pie in the sky plan just collapsed immediately. And like, what are we doing? We're wanted in America. We can't go back. We're trapped here, and I don't speak the language. It's great. It's amazing. It's a delightful romp. Like, it's great. I can't really talk much about it because it's a lot of little character moments where you're just like, oh, these two are great. Where like Butch Cassidy gets into a duel, and then he asks Sundance how to shoot a gun because Butch Cassidy is always that kind of wise talking, like trickster type of character, and he's never actually fired a gun before, even though he leads an outlaw gang. Because that's how charismatic, and it's there's just little goofs. It's pretty good. Holds up well. That's my number 5.
All right, I would ask why you picked that one over something like The Outlaw Josie Wales, but they sound like radically different movies.
Oh no, okay. So this is spoiler if we get there. I have a list of movies that are too sad or too real.
Oh. Okay.
They didn't make my list because they're too real, and one of my standards for my movies is that I had to kind of want to watch it. There's some movies that are really good, but I don't want to watch it again. So I'm just letting you know.
Okay. All right. So my number 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
My number 4 is Ghost in the Shell.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Scarlett Johansson really nailed it. Kicks it out of the park.
So you're saying you watched that one, Kevin?
No. I want to watch it at some point. I need to know, but it's not.
I tried to watch it. It sucks.
I never tried to watch it. I thought about getting the art book movie because that looked good. But why would you ever?
I'm not going to lie. I tried to watch it on 3 separate occasions. I couldn't get past the halfway point. That movie is just
Okay, that's good to know.
because Ghost in the Shell is so good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like the music throughout is good. That chanting.
Oh, I love the chanting. That cyberpunk chanting.
Yeah. All those like quiet moments of just Motoko reflecting.
Yeah.
Like, and there's so many things like I think are easy to take metaphorically, and then you realize, no, but this is also just literally her looking and seeing another model of her same like body in that building.
Yeah, you're not special. It's just a manufactured body.
Yeah.
It had a better
it's a mass-produced one.
I was gonna say it has a better scene of the only good scene in the RoboCop remake.
Yeah.
But yo,
But yeah, it just does a lot of stuff good. And when she's trying to pull the tank apart and just
yeah, her
all
arms
the
are
weird
ripping off.
muscle and the weird back muscle stuff.
Yeah.
Where the organic parts can't hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, the Major's all
Oh, she's
is
all
synthetic.
robot. Yeah, she's all synth. But she's just coming apart because she ain't a Gundam.
She going so hard.
I see.
Yeah, like,
my brain wants to always interpret the muscles as still being like muscles.
Yeah.
yeah, but no, and that's another part of the movie. The very opening is us watching basically her body get manufactured.
The part where Kusanagi puts her brain inside a steamroller and has to pave a road.
You gotta say that again.
Oh, the fact that Motoko Kusanagi puts her brain inside a steamroller and then is forced to pave a road.
Oh,
Cable guy.
yeah. Thanks, Devin.
Yeah.
Okay, which is worse? Deleted scene from Cars or the guy being like, "Look at my family," and it's like, there's no one in that picture.
Oh no, the memory one.
Yeah, the family was family photo.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear Nolan. Did Nolan say something?
Troubles.
I cannot hear Nolan.
We can, so I don't know what's wrong with yours,
Crap.
Devin.
All right, hold on. Pause discussion. I'm gonna join back up.
Ghost in the Cars.
Now I can hear you. Okay, it's just Discord.
All right.
Ghost in the Cars.
Cars in the Shell.
Cars in the Shell.
No, okay.
Drive Alone Complex.
Ah, there we go.
Parking Garage Complex.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one. Nolan, how you gonna top that off? What's your number 4?
Okay, so speaking of cyborgs, I gotta go with the original American cyborg. Number 4 is gonna be RoboCop.
Ooh, RoboCop's good.
So same director as Starship Troopers. I can never remember his name, but I love the guy.
Yeah, I Wikipedia'd him.
So good.
I Wikipedia'd him after you gave that tease, just so I could look and try to guess what other movie it was gonna be.
Yeah. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, RoboCop is the story of a Detroit cop in the future. You know how Detroit is?
Yeah.
Well, imagine if it's way worse.
Or better.
normal.
Paul Verhoeven
Run
is the
by-
name you're looking for.
Yeah. So, just like Starship Troopers, there's a theme behind it. But instead of fascism, this theme is capitalism. Because the police force has been bought out by I can't remember the
OCP.
name, but this OCP. This big big old corporation. And so they take a cop who's had his arms and legs blown off by shotguns and build him into RoboCop.
Yeah, the
But they keep all
Defender.
of his brains and everything. The Defender. And he shoots a guy's balls off at one point. It's
Yes,
awesome.
he does.
He shoots a lot of dicks.
I know.
Okay, so that scene is incredible.
Yeah, it's
That
great.
remake scene.
But the major draw of RoboCop is, yeah, he's a robot being controlled by the corporation, but it's still a man in there. And
He's a good
trying
man.
to break free. He's a good man. He's a great cop.
Murphy's a
Murphy
really
is a
good guy.
fantastic cop. He's a good guy.
He did not
does the right
deserve
things.
getting exploded.
Doesn't like 5 minutes of just getting hit by shotguns.
Isn't that why he became RoboCop? Is because he was a good cop and they sent him into an ambush so he would get exploded?
Yeah, so they could build the RoboCop.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is Frank Miller attached to RoboCop?
RoboCop 3, where he has a jetpack and fights ninjas.
Oh no, I forgot about that.
I think he might have also I think he might have also written some comics for it too.
Yeah, don't. A lot of movies on our list, we're gonna have bad sequels. You just gotta
Yeah.
gotta let that go.
Just top to bottom, fantastic, interesting world, great characters, great concept. Of course, my favorite boy, Ed 209.
Yeah, making those cow sounds.
Can't go down the stairs.
No, he can't. He fell down the stairs.
He have trouble. He big boy.
He shoot that boardroom up real good though.
There's something about that final scene of like, because he has like protocols like, oh, protect people, follow orders, do not bother corporation at all, do not touch us, leave us alone.
Yeah.
And like he's trying to kill the last guy, and you just hear, "You're fired," and then the final protocol deletes. Like, all right, got it. Bam.
Yeah, RoboCop's sick.
Great movie. I've watched that movie since I was 3 years old, and I love that movie.
That's a little too early for it, but that's fine.
No.
That's fine.
See, no, that's the like same boat as me and Predator.
Yeah.
All right, Cody, what's your number 4?
People under the stairs, so.
Cody, what's your number 4?
My number 4. Hold on, my list is numbered but out of order, so it takes me a second. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
Okay, you're going to have to tell me about this, because I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Okay, Cody, but what's your
a good
actual
Friday the
number
13th?
4?
I won't fight that. But...
My actual number 4 is Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. This movie, it's just... Part of it is linked to, like, I have memories of seeing bits and pieces of it when I was a kid, and it was my first experience being terrified by Jason Voorhees, so it has stuck with me. This is the first Friday the 13th movie to have Kane Hodder as Jason, who a lot of people consider him to be the best Jason. It was originally came up with, they had the idea, this was the movie that it started on paper as being the first attempt to make Freddy versus Jason, but Paramount owned Friday the 13th still, so they couldn't get the rights. Then they thought maybe we could do Carrie versus Jason, but they couldn't get the rights to Carrie, so they just made their own telekinetic girl. And this is a movie where Jason fights a girl with telekinesis.
Okay.
So for the
I like that they went the route of trying to think Carrie versus Jason, because that means someone tried to also pitch Christine versus Jason.
That would be incredible.
I would watch Christine versus any other horror movie. Like, Christine versus Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, that's just cars. It's just cars. That's the prequel to Cars.
that starts the... Is Cars the sequel Maximum Overdrive?
Yes.
Sure, I'll count it.
But yeah, this is like one of the first only times we see Jason not just... I mean, yeah, he does his butchery, kill everybody in the movie thing, but this is the first time we see him actually go up against someone that can hold their own and he has trouble. This is the first time we see Jason trying to be the horror movie bad guy.
All right. I think your justifications were good. At first, I was questionable, but you justified it, so I'd allow it.
Why do you feel like this one more than Jason Takes Manhattan?
Resonates with me better than Jason Takes Manhattan. Like, I think this is the movie that makes it to where I'm even to this day, still kind of afraid of water I can't see through.
Okay. All right. What?
Kevin, you're up. What's your number 4?
All right, hold on a second. I need to check something. All right, never mind.
Okay.
I'll deal with that later. Anyway, because that's weird. All right, so what?
Your number 4.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got like an inbox alert that said someone was trying to get into my email, and that's messing
that's
me up.
fun.
All right. Anyway, I'll deal with that after this. So my number 4 is also a horror movie. It's called a little movie called The Thing. I think
That's my honorable mentions.
So The Thing, I feel like is one of the best horror movies. You got some really good puppets. You got some extremely strong, just actions. You have characters that are great. You have all-star cast. You got Wilford Brimley. You got Keith David. You got Wilford Brimley's really good in that movie. And you have
You started with him.
That's because that was on my brain. My brain's frazzled because my computer's sending me alerts saying that my email's been compromised.
You got Hollywood's most beautiful eyes right there, Kevin.
Exactly. So we go with the Brimley, and then the puppets, and then Kurt Russell.
He made Kurt Russell.
So yeah, it's great. Someone else could talk.
Okay, you want to deal with your email?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be doing that in the background. So you Drew, keep going.
Okay. So a lot of what we can say about The Thing, we can also carry into my number 3, which is also David Cronenberg, Videodrome.
Ooh.
Man, that's a weird one.
God, it's so good.
I wasn't expecting to hear Videodrome.
Oh, I love that movie. Like, there's a lot of stuff I like about it, but for me, the moment that cinched this being one of my top 3 movies of all time is when his stomach mouth eats his gun, and at that moment, I thought, my God, he's gonna pull that out later. And he does.
Yeah, he does.
So, this is a movie where James Woods is a sleazy local television producer. I think I might have gotten his job title wrong, but it's close.
Yeah.
And he finds this American pirate television station that's showing some really screwed up snuff film style programming. And he wants to figure out how to get it onto Canadian airwaves to make some cash. And it's just steadily showing like societal ills and how like in this world like they're using television to but and also like form a weird cult. There's a lot going on in that movie.
It sounds good.
I'm surprised.
Most Cronenbergs are just fantastic.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for The Fly.
Yeah. I feel like it's the weakest.
Which is weird because I feel it's the most mainstream.
Yeah, people definitely know The Fly more than they know of either The Thing, and definitely more than Videodrome.
Yeah. Oh, but it's good. I also think I think it has inspired some stuff in Japan, like the Midnight Channel and a strange series of murders rocking a small Japanese town.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, actually, that does sound pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep, Persona 4 is not that far off from Videodrome.
I'm sorry, I'm just doing crap, so you guys gotta carry it.
Okay.
Oh, you're alright.
Alright, so Nolan, what's your number 3?
Okay, well, how Kevin was talking earlier about how the Predator is the strongest Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, I'd have to disagree because T2 Judgment Day is the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie in my opinion.
Why not T1?
T1's good, but T2 is a better altogether movie.
I don't know, man. I'm like of the giant bomb opinion, where T2 kind of ruins the concept of the Terminator by turning it into like a buddy thing.
Oh, I liked T2 a lot. That was actually on my honorable mentions.
No. Yeah, no, like.
But you're Dan
I
Riker.
can see that, but like, I see T2 as just how, because you remember T1 about how deadly the Terminator is. Until you see him, you're like, oh god, he's going to kill John Connor. And he says, "Get down." But then again, everyone knew what was going on because of the stupid trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was a trailer that messed it up.
If it wasn't for the trailer, that movie would be way better. But
That's the beautiful.
I like that idea. I like the idea of just.
That's the nice thing, though, about getting older, is it means now you can introduce children to films and TV series in a vacuum.
Yeah. I've already been calling good old classics just for Jasper when he gets a bit older.
I don't know, every chase, every action scene, every little bit of dialogue is just very good. And I can just say, all around, it's a solid movie. Like, it's still not my best movie, but it's a good built movie altogether.
Yeah.
I remember as a young child, I was aware of Terminator 2's plot before Terminator 1's. So I remember a specific point in my childhood of being surprised to learn that Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator was originally a bad guy. So, thank you for that, T2.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm surprised that it 20 years to come up with the premise of the next Terminator villain is T2 over top of T1.
Okay, so everything after that just completely sucks ass. My option's okay, but everything else is garbage.
Yeah.
Which one's okay?
Salvation, the one in the future.
I've heard the newest one's okay.
I haven't seen Dark Fate, but I know it also has a Terminator on top of another Terminator.
It's just a good idea. Also,
T2 skin.
so the episode of Invader Zim where Zim just keeps throwing pigs into the past to ruin Dib.
Yeah.
Isn't that the premise to one of the Terminators, where they just keep chucking more and more Arnold Schwarzeneggers into the past?
There was a point there they said like 3 or 4. And like Terminators just getting like shot off left and right, and they just keep sending more. That's like the last 2 movies. The last 2 movies have like 4 to 5 Terminators, and some of the Terminators are just shot off and killed immediately.
So dumb.
Yeah, you lose that feeling of, oh no, these things are dangerous.
Yeah.
They're tough. They're hard to kill.
Like, why is Future Humanity Army having a problem with these now?
Do they only have rocks and sticks to fight these robots with?
They did their best.
Knock them out and be done with this.
Christine versus Terminator. The Terminators uncover an old 1950s Chevrolet in the future that wants to kill.
No, I'd say Christine versus Maximum Overdrive truck.
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate realization.
The Green Goblin.
Realization is crossovers suck, and that's it.
Yeah.
All garbage. All right.
All right, Kevin.
Oh, that's
Let's
Cody.
find out what Cody's number. Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, I realized. Let's find out what Cody's number 3 is.
Thank you for not forgetting me completely. Number 3 is going to be Phantasm.
I have no idea what movie that is.
That is
fantastic.
That is the. This is another instance where I'll say, well, it's Cody's top 10. It's his list.
You have to describe it to me.
Phantasm is a strange movie. It's about a small town with a large funeral home, and I don't even know where to begin. So,
Start with the ball.
it starts with this kid, his older brother. The parents are dead, and one of the older brother's friends gets murdered. And the kid brother is like spying on the funeral director after the funeral, and he sees this old, like super tall old man just deadlift pick up the full coffin by himself and put it back in the hearse out of the grave. You learn, spoilers, that this tall guy is some kind of interdimensional being who is taking human corpses and reanimating them into essentially Jawas.
Yeah, I like Jawas.
To send back to his home world as slaves. And
I don't like that.
His problem with killing people is these floating silver balls that, when they get close to you, they blow out these 2 blades and a drill, and they latch onto your head and drill into you, and then just start spraying blood. It is a movie that you don't really know where it's going because you can't.
The writers or directors didn't know where it was going.
Like, at one point, they cut one of the guy's fingers off, and it turns into a demon fly. So it's just, it is a strange movie. It is a movie that I have already watched a number of times, and I might go back and watch it again tonight.
Okay, so Kevin, you know how like you can think of Rockstar games as like their own separate evolution of video game mechanics?
Yeah.
That's like this movie for the horror genre.
Yeah, it does not overlap with other movies. Like, it is not a slasher, it's not a ghost.
Yeah. Like, I think it's from the same lineage as Spleen with a Thumb.
The crawling spleen from Angry Beavers?
Yeah.
Except it's not even like a sci-fi creature feature either.
No, that's why I say Spleen with a Thumb. Like, that's the level of weird and bizarre this movie is. Like, you understand the characters are in danger, but, like, you're not 100% convinced that they're in danger?
I had to for a second. My kid was climbing.
Oh, that's okay. Go get him, Jasper. Oh, but, like, I don't know.
Whenever I think of Phantasm, I also think of From Beyond.
Ah, From Beyond.
Those kind of movie. Those just very interesting horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you still here, Kevin?
I'm still here.
That's what it is.
I'm still just, there's nonsense going on.
Listen,
right now.
Watch it sometime.
The stupidest
yeah.
nonsense is going on. I hate it.
Here first, folks. Kevin's suffering from identity theft.
Right now. I hate it.
Well, not live. This is a few days in the
Yeah.
past.
All right, Kevin, well, what's your number 3?
All right,
Unless you want to talk more about Phantasm.
No. All right, so what the heck? Okay, so my number 3 movie is a all-time sci-fi classic, sci-fi comedy
Phantasm.
classic. Yeah, Phantasm. But it does have phantasms. It's Ghostbusters. You have a perfect storm of comedic talent, sci-fi action, ghost, dry humor. It's all there. Ghostbusters. It's a great movie. It's my number 3.
And the only one to make 2 lists so far.
Yeah, like Nolan talked about, but I didn't want to mention it. So, yeah, I like Ghostbusters.
So
I thought
good.
Cody talked about it.
I didn't talk about it.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
It was at the bottom of Cody's list. But I said, ooh,
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, that's a good movie. But that's a movie. Like if it held like more relevance with me, it'd definitely be. But that is just an all-star cast.
I still think once
Yeah, you got Melissa McCarthy.
I've never seen a thing that was talking about how it's the most American movie. Because it is a movie where ghosts are confirmed to be real, and it's all about a group of people monetizing that.
They're not, and like, we gotta stop this evil production. Like, make some cash off this. I'm
And also-
money. Let's get some cash.
And also, don't forget hard science showing they exist, and then officials just flying in defiance of that science and saying, "No, shut it all down."
Yeah, that doesn't come up at all.
Everything was fine until Dickless here shut down the machine. Is that true, Your Honor?
It's true, this man has no dick.
That's what I heard anyway.
So many good lines in that movie. There's so many good lines.
Oh,
Every
about
chance they
creepy.
talk and you hear them.
yo, so which would you rather watch, the remake of that or the remake of Ghost in the Shell?
Mm.
Uh,
The thing, I have the animosity towards the Ghostbusters remake that a lot of people did. I just think that it is a very middle of the road comedy. Like
I would rather watch Ghost in the Shell.
so I'd go with Ghostbusters. I never finished Ghost in the Shell.
I don't know. Which one's shorter?
Probably Ghostbusters.
We'll go with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That movie, the new Ghostbusters got one good laugh out of it at the very end, and that was it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. No one successfully watched Ghostbusters, not successfully watched Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Movie ruined my day because the thing is, I went in there thinking like, you know what, the haters are wrong. This is going to be a great. It's got a pretty good cast. It'll be okay. I was severely disappointed. I lost all hope that day.
Busters. Or to be
I think his description works for both.
All right, I think I got everything fixed on my end. I had
All
to
right,
change.
that's-
I had to change like my Windows password and then add my phone for verification to my stupid stuff. But I think it should.
You
be
haven't had your phone on your
not on my Windows.
email account?
Oh, on my Gmail, but not on like my Windows account.
Oh, your Outlook stuff? Okay.
Yeah, because I never used Outlook, but apparently someone was snooping around there, so I had to add that on there because I added it for my.
password so we can tell you if it's strong enough.
It's 123 Fake Street. Please don't try to sign into my Outlook account using 123 Fake Street. So then I'm gonna have to do another whatever reset dealing with this crap.
Yeah.
Your account.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so that's my number 3. We're on number 2s. Drew.
Yep. My number 2 is a little movie called Only Yesterday. It's from Studio Ghibli, but it's Isao Takahata and not...
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah. So this movie is about a lady in her mid-20s who goes out to the country for a break from her vacation, and she's just reflecting on what her childhood and where she is now. And I don't like. It's hard to talk about this movie because a lot of it is just very mundane, but it looks incredible. And like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids, there's just a lot of small character work and moments that make it feel real good. And then the final like ending scene just, I don't know, it hit me with this wave of ennui that was so good.
Ugh, no.
Ennui.
It's the best.
A movie that triggers me to feel that particular emotion goes on my never watch again list.
Yeah, to longtime listeners, whenever I was talking about seeing the end of Utena, the series, that's like the same way I feel about this movie. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know how to talk about it. Like everything else on my list, I can talk about. I didn't even talk about my number 1 more than I can talk about my number 2.
No, that's understandable.
I always love me a good, just like character sort of drama movie. Where the
I didn't catch like any of that, Nolan.
Yeah, you got to Discord chomped it.
you know, look, there's nothing wrong with like just very mundane movies. I actually kind of like stuff like that. Different movies like from recently, it's just Marriage Story.
Oh.
And it's all it is just character interactions, and that's it. Looking,
yeah, this one also.
And Black Widow do great in it.
Okay. I think I know what movie you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, it's also it just has some good where are just able to do fantastical things. And even though it's a mundane story, because it's all animated, it doesn't break your immersion at all. It's another one of those reasons of, it's a movie I can point to and be like, you see, Harry Potter should have just been a cartoon all along.
Ah, I see.
But yeah, so that's my number 2. Also, the secret to Studio Ghibli is Isao Takahata movies are better than Miyazaki's movies.
Old man Miyazaki. He wants to fly his planes and be cranky.
Anime was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he ain't wrong.
Yeah, he isn't.
Oh, Lord. He is not.
Okay. I guess it's going to be me now. Speaking of stuff you can't really talk about, my number is a quaint little Korean film called Old Boy.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. I like it.
Old Boy is the story of a kind of slobbish, drunken man who's getting drunk on his daughter's birthday, and he's calling her saying, "Oh, honey, I'm gonna be home in a bit," and he gets kidnapped. He gets put in a hotel room for like 20 or so years, and he's got to try to escape and stop from going crazy, and doesn't really work. He goes batshit insane, keeps a little rat in the wall. They just let him out. There's no note, no reason why. They just let him out on top of a building. And his whole job is to find a way, as well as find his missing daughter. And that's all you're going to get off that.
Yeah, no, you're not going to ruin that. There's spoilers. The spoilers got to say on that one.
Ever.
No, I want to say one more thing. There is a hallway and a hammer and a hell of a sequence.
Hell of a fight scene.
Yeah.
Hell of a beatdown.
Also, remember, watch Korean version, not the Western remake.
Dude, No version. Don't do it.
When all you have is a hammer, all the world looks like a nail.
Whoa.
It's real good.
That movie. There's just a lot of smart things of like how he's hunting down.
So great.
I will say this. This is not a spoiler. Thinking of that movie always makes me crave pot stickers.
Yeah.
Every time.
All right.
He tracks down like the place he got kidnapped to by figuring out what kind of food.
Yeah. It's like I ate the same food every day for 20 years.
I have this flavor profile memorized.
All right. Cody, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is going to be The Incredibles.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see that.
That is a movie I liked.
Pixar movie.
It, and each subsequent time I've seen it, I like it more. And I think part of that is that I've transitioned into fatherhood, so I am seeing this movie in a different light.
Of course.
Yeah.
You understand the Mr. Incredible struggle.
Yeah, like as you get older, oh, Bob and Helen, oh, you guys.
Yeah.
I had that feeling with the Spongebob movie.
Oh yeah, then why isn't it number 2 for you, Kevin?
We'll get there. Talk more about Brad Bird's The Incredibles.
What, Nolan?
That's just a great movie.
It's like classic superhero. It's the Fantastic Four movie that we deserve. It's the Fantastic movie we need.
Yeah.
The music's really good.
The villain.
Oh, Syndrome's great.
Yeah.
Syndrome's also, to me, relatable. Because I get the idea of not having superpowers in a superpowered world. I was thinking about that the other day.
But he clearly does.
Oh, yeah, well,
He's just too obsessed to realize it.
He doesn't realize he gets to be Iron Man.
Yeah.
I don't get to be Iron Man.
Nope.
Yeah, but no one was in this world. The closest we had was Italian Elon Musk, and he got banned.
He went to the moon like a big pizza pie in the sky. Okay. But yeah, The Incredibles is great.
Like, if you haven't seen The Incredibles, what's wrong with you? If you have seen The Incredibles, go watch it again.
Yeah, it's a good one.
How do you feel about 2?
Pixar's best.
Yeah, hands down, Pixar's best.
Yeah.
I won't fight you for that.
I wouldn't fight you on that either.
I really want them to take all the textures and models from The Incredibles 2 and do an up-res of Incredibles 1 with them.
Yeah. Get the video game HD remaster of Incredibles 1.
Yeah.
I've got the Incredibles DVD in there. I'd still buy the up-res Blu-ray.
I'd be down. All right, do I have to talk about my number 2?
Yeah.
Yep.
So my number 2 is a film that is revolutionary. It did a lot. It holds up. And that film is The Matrix. That's my number 2. I feel The Matrix is the pinnacle of sci-fi action movie.
It could have been his greatest movie.
It was great. I think it was perfectly cast, perfectly acted. I think the music is that era, that time. It's
Kevin. What's The Matrix?
What is The Matrix? The Matrix.
Cody, did you say it could have been Will Smith's best movie?
Yeah, he passed up.
Okay. I know. I just wanted to make sure that's what you said.
Okay, yeah. I thought you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but yeah, it's so good. It is. That movie's incredible. Yo, The Matrix. It's about what if we lived in the computer.
But don't we?
But don't. Ooh. Woo! But yeah, there's a lot of metaphors and allegories and kung fu. It's great.
Yeah.
I love The Matrix. I can't really talk that much like in depth about it because I just love it. I love that
The
film.
fight choreography is so good.
I wish I could just download Kung Fu into my brain.
Exactly.
Download anything into your brain.
I know kung fu.
Show
You
me.
got Mr. Rander. You got Agent Smith.
Morpheus.
Okay, so my only problem with that movie,
Yeah, okay.
and this is spoilers for, the
The
5
Matrix.
people in the world who haven't seen it,
Yeah.
is whenever Agent Smith, Hugo Weaving, explodes, and they have that shoddy, Hugo Weaving head go flying towards the camera.
Yeah, that's a bit of 1999 2000 CG that doesn't hold up as well.
It's not even CG, it's just his head, cut out, and then they just have it, and it looks bad.
See, I thought you were going to complain, because my biggest complaint of that entire movie is the very end of it, where Neo flies away as it goes, the Rage Against the Machine song starts into it. Because even as an impressionable youth, I thought that was kind of lame.
Dog, Dracula is in that movie.
I know it
You
is.
can't complain against Rage Against the Machine being used.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched a lot of movies to prepare for this. The Matrix was one of them. He did the ending still, as an adult. I was hoping maybe it'd be a little cooler. No,
it's just kind of
it's
lame.
complete garbage.
It's
I'm okay with the idea. I will agree that I just think the shot itself is bad.
That's my biggest complaint. I like him basically calling the Matrix itself as saying, "I'm on to you." That's good. I'm liking that. I just don't like him flying away with it looks bad. That looks bad. In a movie where a lot of things do not look bad, that
honest,
looks
it
bad.
Still looks bad in 2.
Oh,
Reloading.
Oh god.
Where he did
Flying in, him being able to fly, I think, caused too many problems for them to try to deal with in 2.
I feel like I thought the Wachowskis thought that looked really cool, and then it just caused problems when you wanted to have a sequel to this movie.
It also doesn't help when it's all right, well, we've made Superman, but more so, and now that's one of our main characters fighting the bad guys. How do we balance that level of power?
Yeah.
Superman in a slightly above Batman world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
but the Matrix is cool. Remember when she said, "Not like this, not like
this."
All right. So yeah, that's my number 2. So now we're on to the number ones. We are at 1 hour 13 minutes. So honorable mentions ain't happening.
Yeah, it seems that way.
That's all right.
All right. So take your time on your number ones.
Okay. I do have a question. You want to stop the recording and then restart it so it's okay?
You know what? That's a good idea. So right now, if you're hearing this, that's cool. But I'm going to stop the recording now just to preserve things, and then we're going to start a new one for the number ones. So if I edited this out, that's cool. If I didn't, whatever. And we're recording again.
Hi, and welcome back to our top ones.
Yeah, the top ones. Drew, what's your top one?
So my number 1 is Pat Labor 2, the movie.
I have not seen it. Please explain. I know what Pat Labor is, though.
Yeah.
So it's a remake of the last 3 episodes of the original OVA, where there is an attempted military coup in Japan, and it is up to the police force to prevent it from happening. And it does a lot of reflecting on the comparing, would you rather live during a time of an unjust war? Or no, sorry, a period of time of a just war or an unjust peace.
Also, there's cool robots.
God, they're sick robots. And they wear tactical vests. Like, it's so good, especially if you're familiar with the franchise already, because it already means you know what goofballs these characters normally are. And so that means it being serious is a lot better.
Because you're seeing why they're the positions they're in.
Yeah.
I always like it when you get the rowdy bunch, and then you see them for real, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is why they're special. Whatever, they're not just goofballs.
Like
Yeah.
Buzz.
Yeah, the ending of Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
So the other thing I think speaks to this movie's credit, it's the same director as Ghost in the Shell, Mamoru Oshii. And whenever I watched it, it recaptured the original magic of the first time I saw Ghost in the Shell.
Oh.
Does it still have the extendo hand to get the gun out of its holster?
Yeah, it still has that.
Oh, I love that.
Because it's like the thigh pops out, and that's where the gun raises up out of. And that's the other thing, is it's a giant revolver that shoots giant bullets.
And the shells fall down, and they're like car-sized.
Yeah. Or at least motorbike size.
That's a good
But
one.
yeah,
That's a good one.
it's a good movie.
All right, Nolan. I know what your number one's going to be. Hit us up with it. Nolan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, hit us with that number one.
You're so sure you don't know what it is?
I know exactly what it is. Hit us up with it.
Okay, no, Kevin, what's his number one?
His number one's going to be Freddy Got Fingered.
No.
It's gonna be what?
I wish.
Okay, so you
I
didn't.
wish I had the guts to do that.
Okay, because I thought you were going to do it.
What'd Kevin say? I missed it.
Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh.
I thought I was like, he's going to do it.
That's That's an honorable mention.
Only choice.
No. Okay, so my number one is technically two movies, but they're the same movie. It's Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2.
Yeah, when you said that, I knew it.
I count that as because that's one continuous thing.
Really.
Tell us about it.
Oh, Kill Bill is the story of
It's real good.
called the seeking revenge on the people who killed her on her wedding day.
Tried to.
They didn't succeed because the bride, she's the best assassin in the world.
A Black Mamba.
Black Mamba.
Yeah, that movie's sick.
There's just that story is so good. All the action, every shot is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's
And
Quentin
the acting
Tarantino's best.
Best work.
Yeah, okay, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with
got
it.
nothing.
It's not my favorite, but it is his best. I'll leave it at that.
For me, the only thing close enough would be like Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction.
I mean, listen, because I love garbage. I think From Dusk Till Dawn
Dusk Till Dawn.
is my favorite, but it's not his best. Like Kill Bill is his best visually and just everything
No, if you
about
want
it.
garbage, you go Planet Terror.
Planet Terror is also got some good garbage.
Awful. No, it's just has some of the best, just enjoyable fights. Blood spray everywhere. Just a fantastic revenge story.
Great talent.
And I do hope he's got ideas to continue, and I kind of hope I can see, or he does something with it, because if there's a sequel anywhere in his movies, that's the movie to make a sequel of.
Yeah. I only have two problems, and they're both with Bill. The first is he shows his daughter Shogun Assassin, the bastardized version of the first two Lone Wolf and Cub movies.
That's why he's a villain.
That's how you know he's a bad guy.
Yeah. And the other one is that his reading of Superman is completely wrong.
All right.
Talking about Bill. Bill is the big mastermind in the whole movie. He's the villain. He's the Bill that we have to kill.
He's I was gonna say the
Yeah.
titular Bill.
The titular Bill.
Also, I don't know. Mastermind sounds wrong for we showed up and tried to kill a woman.
I count it.
No, like it's not wrong, but it just sounds too grand a title for we showed up to a
mastermind in the later half of the movie where he's like, "Listen, she's coming. We gotta do stuff."
yeah. Hattori Hanzo's sword.
Hanzo's sword. Oh.
Now I'm just thinking
Kill
about
Bill's
Kill
real
Bill.
good.
Yeah, now I'm just thinking about
God,
it. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's a good number one. Because I keep thinking about
Yeah.
it, going, yeah, there's a lot of
I
good.
will literally, if I see that on TV, I will sit down and I'll just start watching it. Thank you so much.
The Crazy 88s.
Crazy 88. Oh. Never there's an 88 of them. Just the name they go by.
It's just a cool name. Charlie Brown.
I should have been the Black Mamba. Bucket they're murdering each other, and then so one of the assassins that the bride's trying to kill, and she walks in on them having their killer fight, and they're all bloody. It's just like,
Yeah.
Why don't you go in your room? I'll be in there in a second with a snack.
I was gonna say that may be my favorite fight scene in that movie.
It's great. It's a great start to the entire movie.
The party wagon. But yeah, like after the fight that she goes to the daughter and be like, now listen, I killed your mom because she took something precious from me. But it's up to you to try to come back after me now.
Listen, if you want some of this, you better come after it. I'll fight you.
Oh, okay.
That's the
something
sequel. That's the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's Kill Bill 2. But I learned just recently that her Kung Fu master is an established character already from other Kung Fu films.
Huh.
Yeah. And it is just, he is that character. Same personality, same appearance, I think same name, it's everything. Nope, that guy's in Kung Fu already.
I can out like every great little scene in Kill Bill, but I do still want to get to some of the honorable mentions.
Oh, we'll get there later. We'll have a little bit of time to do that. So Cody, what's your number one?
My number one.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah, go ahead, Drew.
Rango.
That was on my cutting room floor.
Rango's a good movie.
Rango is a really good movie. My number one is the classic, the original, the 1978 version of Halloween.
That's yeah.
Rob Zombie's Halloween?
No.
Oh.
You got it, Drew. John Carpenter's Halloween. The it is the slasher movie. Like it does.
Yep.
It doesn't go over the top with the violence. Yeah, it builds the tension, the horror. It doesn't just spray a bunch of blood at the camera. And I actually like it better before they established the idea that Michael and Laurie were related. When it was literally just this random serial killer who just happened to pick this random group of kids to target on Halloween night.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, I agree. There's
predestined, nothing to it. It's like it could have been anybody.
To me, that's what made it scarier. Is that it's just
chaos.
Yeah, it's this babysitter on Halloween, and you got just random. Because if it's I can't remember, but it was some cop show or something where someone said if there's a motiveless.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
No. But it's just motiveless crime means that it's just your world is completely chaos. Or not. It's just now just going to kill them.
Yeah.
Because you can't solve it or you can't rationalize it. It's like, ooh.
Like, it's not a crime of passion thing. It's not like he didn't have like an MO in the. It was just he broke out. He saw this teenage girl and he said, I'm a killer. And he killed everyone that he ran into before he could get to her.
Also, that synth soundtrack in that movie's incredible. Like, all John Carpenter.
John Carpenter makes a good movie, but he makes a darn fine soundtrack.
Oh, okay. I thought you were playing the soundtrack and it was just a car driving by. It's like, oh, Drew's gonna copyright claim my stupid video.
Stop.
Yeah, no, I happen to be sitting outside because it's nice today.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Nature, that's the real greatest movie of all time.
Watch me get a copyright claim from nature. It's like random bird sounds.
Mother Gaia. Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, yeah. But yeah, original Halloween.
Yeah.
A suitable number one.
I can watch that movie over and over. So
Cody's got the mostly horror.
Yeah, no, Cody loves horror.
yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, that's that we get to see like the trends.
I like that.
All right. I guess it's my go.
Yeah, what is your number one?
So my number one,
Ghostbusters 2.
No. My number one is what I consider to be effectively the perfect movie. And that movie is Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is so good. It is beautifully shot. It's beautifully paced. Every character is amazing. The cast is great. There's dinosaurs. Oh man. I love that movie. I love how it gets scary. And you're like, yo, those velociraptors are super terrifying. And they're great.
The face turn.
Yeah. The face turn of the T-Rex at the end, which is stupid, but I didn't care. I love it every time.
Kitchen scene.
What?
That fucking kitchen scene.
Dude,
Yeah.
It's the thing that gets me because it's the creature when you're like, as a human, I'm smarter than the monster, and then it opens the door. You see it figure out how to open the door, and you're like, oh Lord.
It's smart enough.
Yeah, it's not in the clever girl where they're doing traps. The fact that the movie doesn't just show you the dinosaur, it waits. That movie teases dinosaur until halfway through. And then you see like the Triceratops, I think, because they just keep driving by encounters and there's nothing there. And then the big T-Rex. Oh, it's so good.
And the soundtrack.
Oh, the soundtrack is incredible. Like
Jeff Goldblum brought some sick beats.
Yeah. Jeff Goldblum I think that's Jeff Goldblum's greatest role. You have Newman from Seinfeld showing up.
Yeah.
Gets
spit on.
Yeah. With the Barbasol. The guy gets eaten on the toilet. Every scene. That's one of the movies where I could just play it in my brain. Dr. Alan Grant at the beginning telling that kid that the Velociraptor would disembowel him. And then later on it pays off because the Dr. Velociraptor's trying to disembowel a child. It's poetry. That movie's great.
It's foreshadowing.
Yeah. I love that movie. It's so good. Dino DNA. It's also about the hubris of man. It's great.
Yeah, it's
Jurassic Park. I think I like the book a little bit more though.
No, I hear you.
No, I do like the book more. It's one of the rare times where I'll just say that.
I understand that.
I like whenever Ian's talking about how, a kung fu master has to work all those years so he understands and respects the power that he has earned.
You just pay for it.
Don't. Yep. They just pay it forward. Doesn't matter. You don't realize how much power you have, so you have no respect on it.
Yo, but I love that movie. I love that movie so much. So much. So that's my number one. So we have a little bit of extra time. So let's start talking about honorable mentions. Or just categories of honorable mentions. Does anyone want to start us off?
Starting with... Okay, I was going to ask if I'm starting us off or not.
Yeah, start us off. Just tell us briefly your honorable mentions. Take like 5 minutes, kind of go through.
The hard cuts?
Yeah, the hard ones.
Okay, so... the Lilo and Stitch is a good movie.
I agree.
I think it's the best Disney movie.
I disagree. but it's strong.
It's tough.
But yeah, that is one of the movies I put on in the background while I was doing other stuff today for review to see if it actually makes the list or not. And it didn't. Also, The Last Unicorn.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
don't know.
I read the book and I need to watch the movie.
That's a movie that hits me harder, once again, as an adult than as a kid.
Yeah. God, when Molly is like, why did you come to me now? Why didn't you come to me when I was younger?
It's when the unicorn saying, I'm dying and I can feel it.
Yeah, it's like, it hurt. What is this?
Oh, that gets me. I don't like it.
And Schmimdrick?
Yes, Mimdrick.
Oh,
Not as good as Snufkin, but it's pretty good.
okay. So in the book, we find out Schmimdrick's teacher foresaw that he would become the greatest wizard of all time, but could not teach him anything. So the best he could do was give him immortality until he reached the point of greatest magician.
It's like, I cannot do anything with you. You have great potential, but you were just like, right now you were doing everything wrong. You were going about it backwards. So yeah, he gets immortality until he becomes a great magician.
Let's see.
That's a real good book.
Yeah, the movie's good. Let's see. Other cuts. Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mixing of like hard fascism and fantastical elements. Good. Suspiria. I think that's like the only... No, Videodrome's horror. But that would have been the other horror movie I would have put.
That's the one about
And
the
it also
ballerinas, right?
Yeah. And it's the classic one, not the remake. But it also has my favorite death in a horror movie of all time. It's good enough that I won't spoil it. If you want to know after the show, ask me and I'll tell you, but I'm not going to put it on the show.
I think I watched it when Red Letter Media was talking about it because I didn't know what that movie was and it showed up. So I watched them say kind of the gist of it and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Drew likes scary movies.
What?
Drew likes scary, dark ballet movies.
Yeah. No, they're good.
It's a good combo because you get the beauty of the dance but the horror of the dance.
Yeah. And my last honorable mention would be just Labyrinth.
David Bowie Labyrinth?
David Bowie Labyrinth. I love David
That movie's
Bowie Labyrinth.
great.
Magic Dance.
It's so good.
That's the only of the Sandlot and Labyrinth are the only child 80s adventure movies I like. Okay, and also Princess Bride. So it's those three. I don't like Goonies. I didn't really like. I don't like Goonies.
Damn it.
Princess Bride isn't a child adventure movie.
I always considered it one.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say if you say it's not.
I think we have a lot on the same cutting room floor.
I think we do.
All right, Nolan, tell us your cutting room.
I got a bit for my cutting room. I'll start off with probably my Heavyweights.
I've never seen Heavyweights.
Heavyweight.
Is that the one where it's the kids at camp?
Yeah, it's a fat camp with Ben Stiller.
And not John Candy is in it?
Yeah, not John Candy.
Yeah.
But Ben Stiller, crazy workout fitness guy.
I do like Heavyweights.
Heavyweights is one of my favorite childhood movies, next to Sandlot, which is also...
Sandlot's dope.
Sandlot's just great. But let me kind of start blowing through them. Clerks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. It was pretty much Clerks, Mallrat, and Chasing Amy all kind of tied up, so I'm just like, I'll just leave them all there.
Not Clerks 2?
No.
No way.
No.
Spaceballs.
Ooh, that's good.
One of my cutting room floors too.
Yeah. Aliens.
Yeah.
Plural, not singular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both the Cameron sequels are on my cutting room.
Okay. The Matrix.
Yeah, that's on mine too.
Yeah. Predator. Princess Bride. Now the two probably not on anyone's list. Mobile Suit Gundam Thunder.
Yeah.
See, that to me is an OVA and not technically eligible for a movie category.
If technically December Sky and Bandit Flower are movies.
I don't know.
Well, it's on the honorable mention, so I'm accepting.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of threw.
If it was on the top 10, I would argue, but no, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine where it is.
Yeah, that's why I take them off. That and Mobile Suit Gundam, Char's
Counterattack. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You don't want to put Endless Waltz on there?
Technically, that is an OVA series.
There's two cuts. It's also a movie version.
No, if Thunderbolt's allowed, Endless Waltz is allowed.
Endless Waltz would be on there then.
All right, Cody, what's your cutting room look like?
Let's see. There was Rango. There was Spaceballs. There was I, Frankenstein.
Yo Frankenstein.
No, Frankenstein is not a good movie.
How does Yo Frankenstein? No, there's stuff on your list I have. I would not. But Yo Frankenstein is not an honorable mention.
That's only good because we watched it in the theater.
It's a dumb action movie, and it is about Frankenstein, and Frankensteins are my favorite classical monsters.
That's like I loved watching snakes on a plane. That's not on my list.
He looks at all those swords, and instead he takes 2 beating sticks.
I would take Van Helsing over Yo Frankenstein.
I would too.
My other honorable mention, this is my number 1 honorable mention, is The Final Sacrifice.
Okay.
No.
That's
that one I pondered for a bit. It didn't even make it to cutting room floor, but I pondered it.
I put it on cutting room floor because I never watched the actual film. I've only watched the Mystery Science Theater cut.
Yeah.
But that's a movie.
That is a movie. I would count that as a movie. If you want, that episode is a movie because it's just the movie.
Yeah.
But it felt like I've not watched the movie itself. I have watched a commentary track on the movie.
But that's what I mean. You say the movie isn't The Final Sacrifice. The movie is the Mystery Science Theater episode where they watch the Final Sacrifice. Because their episodes are just movies.
Rouse Dower saves us and then saves all the world.
I shot right between them. I got confused.
Damn, he's got a 10 speed. I think all of us could just sit here and quote that all day.
Pretty much. It's the
delicious.
best. It is the best Mystery Science Theater episode by far.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The fact that it's set in Canada.
The Canadian tuxedo.
That's what makes it. Is all this stuff is going on, but it's all this ancient prophetic stuff in Canada.
It's like in some kind of Saskatchewan or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, I got one more I want to throw out.
Yeah, I'd throw it in.
Escaflowne, the motion picture.
Yeah, that horse blowed up.
No, that's good.
Okay. I want to get to mine. So,
Fair.
in my honorable mentions, I have a couple categories. First category is too real. These are movies that are really good, phenomenal, but they just get too real.
Movies that Goofy Goober can't watch.
Movies that make you feel like a goofy goober because you can't handle it. Unforgiven is Clint Eastwood's best Western. I love that movie.
Old Man Logan.
Yeah. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a great film.
Yeah,
That's right.
But it makes me sad. Cool Hand Luke is one of the movies that's touched me to the soul. But that movie's sad. It's hard to watch.
that movie's really good.
That
movie is in my that is in a runners-up category.
Yeah. And The Shining. I really like The Shining. But that movie's hard to watch.
It's also long.
Yeah. So my next is the too long. Well, that's kind of segues to Kurosawa as a genre, too long. I have the Disney animated crew. Well, not Disney, just animated film crew, which is The Emperor's New Groove. I love that movie. Original Lion King is incredible. I love that film.
Yeah, it's called Kimba the White Lion.
Don't care. I love The Lion King. The songs are good. Iron Giant is also there. My genre of film, I love it. It's possibly my favorite genre of film, but I couldn't, with good conscience, put it on the list because the genre of film known as Nicolas Cage cannot appear on anything that's the best. But if this was the most, I would put Nicolas Cage films on that.
I'm not going to lie. I thought about putting Vampire Kisses or Face Off on here.
I love that genre. I could do a top 10 of Nicolas Cage pretty easily.
I could, yeah.
Pretty easily.
Yo, what's the best Nicolas Cage movie, everybody?
Oh, Lord. It's between...
For me, it's between Face Off and Mandy.
I've got to say Mandy. I think Mandy
great.
is the best Nicolas Cage film.
I still need to see Mandy.
Because you get all aspects of Nicolas Cage in Mandy, which is the descent into madness, and you get that hard in Mandy. Also because his life is kind of schlubby, so it's adding on to it. It's great. I think Mandy's the best one.
Mandy is great, but you gotta sit through like an hour of nothing. But literal absolute nothing.
But that's setting it up. It's the part where it's
the
building.
Last hour is fantastic.
It's building. So I would also say Drive Angry 3D is real good.
To me, it's Con Air.
Oh, Con Air! I think Con Air might be the most definitive Nicholas. If you want not good but great, it's Con Air.
The Rock.
Rock is all... Oh, Lord, The Rock. Is The Rock better than Con Air?
Winners fuck the prom queen.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Gone in 60 Seconds is not... It's better than the first Fast and the Furious, but not enough to get its own franchise.
See, it makes me I just wonder how Nicolas Cage hasn't been in the Fast and the Furious yet.
He's probably busy.
Where does Next line up?
Next is in the bad film. That's when you start getting to the Wicker Man, when you're in bad Nicolas Cage. Yeah, Knowing. This is bad Nicolas Cage, but I'm watching it because it's so good. I need it.
Ghost Rider 2.
Ghost Rider 2 is...
Ghost Rider 1, good. Ghost Rider 2, bad.
Yeah, man, Ghost Rider 1 isn't even good.
Ghost Rider 2 is disappointing because I could feel where the breaks are. I wanted it to go further. It's not enough. It gives you taste of what it could have been, but they just pulled it back. I wanted Crank, and they didn't give me Crank. They gave me Gamer, and Gamer's not bad.
I think the cut of that Ghost Rider movie where they do not CG the skull onto him.
Okay, yeah, that. That's where it's just Nicolas Cage yelling at people. Yeah.
What? And the Christmas lights.
What's the Nicolas Cage movie where his kid gets abducted by ghosts?
I don't know.
Like, there's some Nicolas Cage movie where his kid is like stolen by ghosts, and he's having to get it's on Halloween, and he's trying to get his kid back.
I don't know.
That sounds like I don't know what that is.
Scared stupid?
Yeah,
No.
Ernest Scared Stupid. Speaking of bad Nicolas Cage films, I have an unreasonable love of Disney's The Sorcerer's
Ernest?
Apprentice, starring Nicolas Cage as the wizard. That movie's terrible. I love it. It's so good. I just love that they defeat the evil wizard by hitting her with a car with a Tesla coil on it. That's great.
Apparently that is Pay the Ghost.
Okay.
Pay the Ghost.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
All right, I gotta swerve out of Nicolas Cage talk and wrap this up. Other genres of film I like are Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. I think they're great.
Jason Statham movies.
Jason Statham's in there. John Carpenter. I love all of his movies.
They Live. Now there's a cut.
They live it I'm saying John Carpenter just knocks him out of the park every time.
I don't know. There's always, to me, whenever he makes a movie, it's always good and fine, but it's just not quite there for me.
Well, that's why he's
like king of always the bridesmaid and never the bride.
Well, that's why I put the genre, because to me The Thing is the only one of his films I say rises above that, but everything else is it's right there. And my last one is the Simon Pegg Nick Frost trio of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. I really like those movies a lot.
I do too. What order do you put those three in?
Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, World's End.
Yeah, I'll agree with that order.
No, I put World's End above Shaun of the Dead.
World's End, I think, hit me really hard. That was one of those movies that did hit me a little hard. It was when Simon Pegg was like, "It's all I have left." It was just doing this pub trawl, and I was like, "Oh, that makes me feel bad for him." But I like Shaun of the Dead a little more. Anyway, this episode's been long.
Yeah, it has. Really longer than it needed to be.
Next week we'll be talking about fighting games and poop. I don't remember.
EVE Online.
Yeah, EVE Online.
Eating your neighbor's ass.
Yeah, ass. Yeah, next week we'll be back to ass eating and Evo.
Giving away all your earthly possessions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Except for G. Wilder's house.
Yeah, about regular Elon Musk potentially walking the path of Italian Elon Musk. Anyway, later days.
That's a good place to end it.
Bye.
Bye.